Hey everybody, I have another video here for you. This really ties directly into my last video, and I am an evidence-based channel. I really have to have evidence before I go with something, but once in a while I bring up something just based on a possibility. But the Avenue of the Dead here, the Pyramid of the Moon, the Pyramid of the Sun, and the Temple of Quetzalcoatl, that's what Teotihuacan is all about. And some people say there is an Orion alignment here, but just some basic facts on Teotihuacan. We're not sure who built this. It seems to stretch way back in history. It seems the cultures that came along, like the Aztecs, and others say, well, these ruins were already here, and these structures were built by the gods. Let's go right down in front of the Pyramid of the Sun here and take a look at what may be possibly a symbol on the front of this pyramid. Now, here we are down on Street View, and I have brought this up, I think, a time or two before. But whoever built this pyramid, the Pyramid of the Sun at Teotihuacan, would they have put a big symbol formed by the stairway here to symbolize what this structure was all about? Well, they might have. But here, the neck, the head, way up here, the arms by this dark terrace up here, the body by the thick staircase here, and then the legs going down here. Is this the symbol for the stairway to heaven? But I just think this is worth bringing up. Here it says coincidence, imagination, or historical fact. The staircase at Teotihuacan in the Chinese, Japanese characters pronounced 10, the sky heaven, and then if you haven't built out of stairs, it represents the stairway to heaven. And I have talked about dualism from the earliest periods of Egypt and how they represented things. Down here at the bottom, it really fits in with one of my Great Pyramid videos where I talked about how it, in a way, represents ascension and imperishability and enlightenment. And it's all about the mind and ascension, and maybe is the symbolic tomb of Thoth. But here it says 10 sky heaven. The sky, the apparent vault of heaven, is the highest place in the universe. The head is the highest part of the human body, hence the idea of representing the sky and heaven by a man's head on the rest of his body. But I think we have a clear connection to Orion in this glyph. And enlightenment, imperishability, rebirth in the afterlife. I just find this very interesting. Was there one culture who brought this knowledge to all these different cultures on Earth, and then they built pyramids and represented what they were taught? Sometimes in the structures themselves, they symbolize things. Well, that is a possibility here just because it makes sense. That is a look at what they call the Pyramid of the Sun today. Those are pretty modern names, but these staircases I find interesting. This one almost appears to be ending a little higher, like this foot is raised. There's a look at the feet, and there was a whole bunch of people visiting the pyramid this day. Is this left foot raised a little higher than this? It almost looks that way. But I just think that's a pretty interesting thing to think about. Did they represent what this structure was all about by a symbol right on the front of the pyramid? The symbol for heaven represented in a staircase, literally the stairway to heaven here. But I thought about this, and heck yeah, I think it's worth a video. That is a quick video on Teotihuacan and a possibility, but it kind of fits in with other videos I've made. Just something to think about. Possibility relates to my last video. Hope you thought that was cool, and you all have. Very nice night.